Hi team, I hope you're all well. Today we're starting a new reading vlog. I'm very excited. It is gonna be the first vlog of Summerween. I'm planning on doing 3 vlogs. I am planning on working my butt off for the next week. So it is Friday the 4th of July. I am starting Summerween early. It's only officially starting tomorrow on the 5th, but I'm starting it early because on Friday next week, 1 week today, I go to London for Jade's hen do, so for the weekend. So I need to be wrapping this all up and getting my last vlog edited for this week on Thursday, to go up to you guys over that weekend while I'm in London. So this is going to be for day 1 and 2, which for me will be Friday and Saturday, and then you will get a second vlog which will be days 3 and 4, which will be Sunday and Monday, and then you will get a third vlog which will be days 5, 6 and 7, which will be Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday. I don't know how much of Thursday I will actually manage to get in, because obviously I need to edit the vlog as well and also get myself packed up ready to go to London. So we'll see how that goes. I don't know how much I'm actually going to manage to read either. I've absolutely smashed it while I've been in Egypt with my reading, so I'm hoping that that continues, but I also have to edit these vlogs. I need to edit the Egypt vlog and get that up as well, so we'll see what happens. However, the first book, I do have quite the stack next to me of books that I'm intrigued to get to. I'm obviously not going to get to all of these, but the likes of Horror Hotel, The Sundown Motel, Bird Box and How to Make a Horror Movie and Survive are all on my TBR, so those are my priorities for sure. But The Haunting I'm kind of in the mood for, and then I do have a stack of manga here as well, with 2 volumes of Dracula, The Midnight Children and also The Summer Hikaru Died. So I do have quite a few options. I'm also on a read along for Peter Swanson's new book, which is Kill Your Darlings, Kill My Darlings. I'll show a picture of it here. That's starting on the 7th, so I'll be reading that during Summerween as well, but I don't know if I'm getting an actual physical copy or not from the people that I'm doing the read along with. I'm not sure. If I am, it's not come yet, so we'll see what happens with that. However, the book that I'm actually going to be starting off with, I'm probably going to do maybe a volume or 2 volumes of manga today as well, but the book that I'm going to be starting off with, I will get wrapped up in this vlog, is going to be Tell Me What You Did by Carter Wilson. If you've come from my Egypt vlog, you will know that at the end of that vlog I mentioned to you that I started this book yesterday while I was still in Egypt, while we were waiting for our transfer. We had like a 6-hour window where we didn't have our room because we had to check out at 12, but we weren't being picked up till 6:45 in the evening, so for our flight. So we had like an almost 7, actually we checked out by 11:30, so we had like an over 7-hour window where we needed to fill time. So I ended up doing some reading and I started this book, but I didn't get it finished on the plane because I wasn't very well. So I want to get it finished because I'm really enjoying it. This one has like a podcast element to it and is very much so a thriller. It's my first Carter Wilson. She gets people to confess their crimes for a living. He knows she's hiding a terrible secret. It's time for the truth to come out. Poe Webb, host of a popular true crime podcast, invites people to anonymously confess crimes they've committed to her audience. She can't guarantee the police won't come after her guests, but her show grants simultaneous anonymity and instant fame, a potent combination that's proven difficult to resist. After an episode recording, Poe usually erases both criminal and crime from her mind. But when a strange and oddly familiar man appears on her show, Poe is forced to take a second look, not only because he claims to be her mother's murderer from years ago, because Poe knows something no one else does. Her mother's murderer is dead. Poe killed him. This is so interesting. So far, we've had an example of how Poe's podcast works. So we had a conversation with someone that we thought had done maybe something a little bit more nefarious than what they actually did. I kind of wish we had someone on that had done something a little bit more sinister, to be honest, so I could get a real grasp of how the podcast works. However, I've got an idea of that, and then she had the phone call from this guy who's claiming to be her mother's murderer. And she's like, you can't be my mother's murderer. And he's like, why? And she's like, you just can't be. And he's like, because you thought you killed him. Blah, blah, blah. So then before I know it, we're in a situation, we're getting like interwoven within the story and how this is all how this is all unfolding and how we're getting to the point that she's on this call with this guy who's claiming to be her mother's murderer. We're getting the podcast element to that, where she's in conversation with him and he's forcing her to explain exactly what she did. So it's really interesting. I'm really enjoying it. I'm enjoying the podcast element to it. It does have duet narration during the podcast elements, and it's very, very good. There is also an element of a little, not romance I wouldn't say, but there is a relationship between Poe and her producer. So there is that going on in the background as well. He is struggling to commit to her fully because she's keeping secrets from him, which is the situation of her mother being murdered and then her killing the guy that killed her. So it's all very sinister, and I'm really, really enjoying it. It's keeping me on the edge of my seat, and if it wasn't for the fact that I was so poorly yesterday on the plane, I would have finished this off yesterday and I wouldn't be reading it during this vlog. So that's what we're going to be starting off. Well, that's the book that I'm aiming to have finished by the end of this vlog, which is for today and tomorrow. I don't know how much reading I'm actually going to manage to get in because I need to edit the Egypt vlog today and try and get as much of that done as I possibly can before Andy gets home this evening. So, well, later on. I assume he's going seeing the kids, which would mean he might be back about 4, half 4, but we'll see. So yeah, but later on I might try and read a couple volumes of a manga or something in bed maybe, or I might just finish this in bed or make some progress with it in bed, and I will keep you updated as we're going along. I do also have some fun activities for myself to do during these Summerween vlogs, so let me show you those actually while we're here, so I can show you what we're going to be doing. Also, for the rest of the vlogs I will try and wear Summerween attire. I have several shirts and sweaters that count, but today I'm still trying to acclimatise back to UK temperature, which is relatively warm actually, a bit more breezy today, but relatively warm. And obviously I've just wrapped up the Egypt vlog, so I can't be bothered to go and get changed. I did just want to mention though, I did get the Summerween bookmark this year, which I haven't gotten before, but this was just too cute not to get. How adorable is that? And then I also treated myself to this ghosty one as well, and they are both from Bookmarks by Alicia, which I will leave a link to in the description box down below. So the activities that I do have, I've got a bookmark kit, a DIY bookmark kit to do. So essentially you get the bookmark, it's like a thingy one, you know, you get the bookmark, but you can make a charm for it, which I'm very excited about. So I've got that. I also have somewhere as well, I don't know actually what I've done with it, but if I can hunt it down, I have a ghosty, let me see if I can find it real quick. Haha, I found it. Creative Outlet Assorted Bead Kit. It's a ghosty one for Halloween, so maybe that'll be fun to do as well. And then I also have a couple of colouring books. So I have this one that I've had for a while, which is a do you say it Hygie Shire Scary Cute Village? This one's a little bit more detailed actually. It's a little too much for me, I will say, but it's cute nonetheless, and I have done a couple of them over, you know, the year or so that I've had this one, but it's a lot more detailed than I usually go for. But I did get myself this Summerween one specifically. So cute. This is a bold and easy colouring book. So we're going to do some, I think, some cute colouring. Look at that Frankenstein with his ice cream. Cute colouring in as well, I think. So lots of activities for me to do. I did want to decorate the library for Summerween actually as well, but we might do that, we might not, I'll see. Because I have a lot on my plate, a lot of things to be doing. So some cute activities for me to do while doing audiobooks and stuff like that. And then, yeah, plenty of books I really want to get to as well. There are so many books I want to get to. So we'll see how we manage, but obviously I still need to edit these videos as well. So I might try and do that as I'm going along, especially on the basis that this intro is now 11 minutes long. So I'm going to bounce, try and get the Egypt vlog edited, and then let's see how we get on as far as reading is concerned for this. Let's go. Okay, good morning. It is day 2, officially day 1 of Summerween. I have my first Summerween merch on. This one is from Stitch. It's not official Summerween merch for the Summerween readathon, but it is from Stitch. I will leave a link in the description box down below. I do have an affiliate code for 10% off if you were interested. She does all kinds of stuff and I wear a lot of her apparel, so if you were interested, just in case, there'll be a link in the description box down below. But I'm here to give you an update. I have read something, and it is The Summer Hikaru Died Volume 2. I liked this. I'm a little bit more confused than I was with Volume 1, but I'm still intrigued enough to continue. This does follow Yoshiki and also Hikaru. They were best friends. And in the first volume, something happened to Hikaru. He was missing on a mountain for like a week, I think, and then all of a sudden Yoshiki's woken up in hospital and Hikaru is fine. And Yoshiki's worried about this because Hikaru doesn't seem like his normal self, and Yoshiki knows more than he's letting on that we find out in here about the situation that Hikaru's in, but he's fairly certain that Hikaru is not who he says he is, despite the fact that he looks like Hikaru. So, as it turns out, Hikaru just wants to be friends. There is something else going on with him, but he just wants to be friends, and I think a relationship may form between Yoshiki and Hikaru more than just friends. So, I gave this one 3.5 stars. It was good. I am intrigued enough to continue. I may pick up another volume today. We'll see what happens. And then I totally forgot, actually, but it is also Pokeathon Gym Day as well. If you don't know what Pokeathon is, it's a readathon that Jade hosts with her patrons. And gym days mean that it's a 24-hour readathon for the day, and there are some prompts. So today's prompts, one of them that is going to be a really easy one for me to do, is a witchy book. So I've actually decided to pick up Witches, which is a graphic novel that's been on my TBR for the longest fucking time, and I keep saying I'm going to pick it up and then just don't. It never continued, so I don't think it's been, you know, I don't think it's been received very well because it was done in 2017, but I want to try and get it read. Another one of the prompts is to then is to yeet a book. So, you know, if I don't enjoy it, I can yeet this one. And I've completed 2 of the prompts for Pokeathon Gym. There is also Portal Fantasy, which I could do the most recent Wayward Children book, but we'll see whether or not I manage that today. I do really want to get Tell Me What You Did finished today. So we'll see what happens with that. But this one, let me tell you what it says on the back. When the Rooks family moves to the remote town of Litchfield, New Hampshire, to escape a haunting trauma, they're hopeful about starting over. But something evil is waiting for them in the woods just beyond town, watching from the trees, ancient and hungry. We open up with 3 pages of a woman stuck in a tree asking her child to help her out, but she's been given as a sacrifice, not a sacrifice, what should she be given as? A pledge, and then something very, very horrible, traumatizing happens at the beginning. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of the illustration style of this, I've got to be honest. This isn't too bad, but when it gets to a point where it's like kind of gory and, you know, like this isn't very clear, and I'm just not a huge fan of the illustration style. So we'll see how we get on with this one. But I am currently like a handful of pages in, and I wanted to come on and give you an update. So I will come back and give you my rating on this, and then I will tell you what Tell Me What You Did is about. So yeah, just to try and get some content in for this vlog, because this is obviously the last day of today's vlog, and then I'll be starting a new vlog for tomorrow. So I'll be trying to edit this as I go as well, which is another thing that I'm going to try and do. So I'll probably give you an update on this and then edit where I'm up to with the vlog so that I can keep ahead of myself. And then when sprints start at 12, because again, I completely forgot Jade was doing Pokeathon Gym today. So she's got sprints starting at 2. So we're going to be sprinting at the same time, which we never do. We usually just join one another's sprints. But I totally forgot. I must have missed the announcement for the gym. Maybe it happened while I was on holiday or something and I just missed the notification. I don't know what happened, but I totally missed it. So regardless, I've got a sprint starting at 12. It's currently 20 past 10. Andy's nipped to the cafe across the road to get us some breakfast. So yeah, I'm going to try and finish this before the sprints and then try and get the vlog edited up to that point. And then I won't have too much more editing left to do this evening before that vlog can then be scheduled, or maybe tomorrow. Albeit tomorrow I am going to my parents. So I'll get a bit of reading in the morning, but I don't know how much. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, going to give this one a read. Let's go. I am here to give you an update on this. I only have about 20 minutes, I think, 25 minutes until sprints start. And I haven't started editing this vlog yet. So that's what I'm going to end up doing in the first sprint, I think. But Witches. I didn't like this. I ended up giving it 2 stars. The art style for me personally was just too messy, and especially when it got to the darker parts of the story, it got to a point where I almost couldn't see what was going on too much. It can be deemed like a bit of a pretty art style, to be honest, but it is quite messy. Like the splatter and stuff like that, the paint splatter type thing, it just made it too messy to visually kind of see what was going on a little bit. And then the story as a whole, like this for example, this art splatter thing just makes it a little bit messy. And then the story as a whole as well was just a little bit all over the place, a little bit messy. One thing I will say about it though is that I kind of wish there was a second volume to maybe wrap the series up a little bit and give us a look into where one of the main characters is now. I don't want to say who it is because I don't want to spoil it, but where one of the main characters is now and what happened to them after the events of this volume. But obviously, I don't know if it was that it wasn't well received or if it's just that Snyder is taking his sweet time writing it. I don't know. But there hasn't been a second volume, so it's just this one volume. So again, part of me kind of feels like it was a bit pointless me picking this up. But I've read it now. I got this back in 2021, so it can be ticked off as a read book, and I'm also going to unhaul it. So I've ticked off 2 Pokemon prompts there, Pokethon prompts there, sorry. So I've ticked 2 of those off, and it's another book down for Summerween. And then the book that I am going to go into now for the rest of the day, I reckon it's probably going to be the only other book that I finish now, unless I manage to get in another volume of The Summer Hikaru Died this evening, is going to be Tell Me What You Did by Carter Wilson. I am 103 pages into this, so I do have quite a chunk left to go. I've got like 340 pages, I think, to go. So I don't know how long that's going to take me. I have the audiobook because there is a podcast element to this, which I'm really enjoying, and I am enjoying the audiobook as well. 3 hours and 15 minutes, so it won't take me too long to get through, and I'll be able to finish that today. So I could potentially pick something else up this evening. I might even start another book to then move into the second vlog with. We'll see. There is so much I want to get to for this readathon. I also do want to pick up Carmilla as well, which is the little novella that actually came before Dracula and inspired Dracula, but doesn't seem to be as popular as Dracula. I didn't know about this until a couple of weeks ago, so I wouldn't mind maybe getting to that as well. I'm quite interested in reading that one, and it's not too long either, so I might even try and read that. Maybe I might do that as like my book to read in the dark for this evening. What are the prompts? Can we complete the prompts every vlog, maybe? All of them, like combining the books, obviously. Combining the prompts, sorry, obviously. Let's have a quick look see. Okay, 1, read a book in the dark or at night. I didn't necessarily, I read, it was nighttime, but it wasn't dark last night when I started The Summer Hikaru Died, so I have potentially completed that one. Read a horror or thriller book. This is a horror or thriller, but also, it's a horror, but also Tell Me What You Did is a thriller. Read a book with a sky on the cover. Just Tell Me What You Did have a sky on the cover. What's the cover for Tell Me What You Did? Oh, it does have a sky on the cover. I will have shown a picture of it here, so that one counts for that as well. Read a book you've owned for more than a year. And read a novella, manga, or listen to a spooky audiobook. So again, The Summer Hikaru Died or Witches would count for that one. Spooky audiobook, also with the other books. So the 3 books that I'm kind of focusing on to try and get through for these 2 days, I've completed all of the prompts with. I may be able to fit something else in. We will see, but I will come back and let you know. So I'm going to get this video, this footage imported and get this video started to edit. And then I'm going to get on with some sprints with my patrons. So I'm very excited to get some reading done and get some sprints done as well. I haven't seen them in a little while because obviously I was away. So yeah, I'm going to go and do that, and I will check back in with you later on. Okay, I thought it might be fun to write some movies down. Mostly pretty much horror, to be fair. I mean, there's a couple like Legion and Constantine, maybe Van Helsing aren't necessarily horror, but regardless. Some of my favourite movies, though. I haven't seen, there's only one of these I haven't seen, I think, which is Doctor Sleep. But yeah, I thought it would be fun to write them down and maybe get Andy to pick one for us to watch later. We only really have today and tomorrow where we could actually watch a movie, so I thought that might be fun, just to add a little bit of pizzazz to the vlog, you know? So he's out right now, otherwise I get him to do it now. So we'll do that in a little bit, I reckon. Okay, howdy doody. It is currently 7:30 in the evening. I was going to film in the window because it's brighter, but it's so loud out there. The races are on, so people are up and down the street shouting at each other because they can't have a normal conversation because they've had one too many beers or many too many beers. Okay, so I have finished Tell Me What You Did by Carter Wilson. Show a picture of it here. I gave this one 4 stars. I like this. It is a low 4-star. I really like this though. I will say my intrigue waned on this one, I think, and I don't know if that's me or the book. It could be me, because I've always said this, but I love to read thrillers in a day. I get more out of the book. I feel like it's more shocking rather than having time, like a break in between. I like to just read it in a day, smash it out in a day. I feel like it impacts me way more, and I always have a better time with thrillers when I read them in a day than rather over the course of several days. So I started this on Thursday before we left the hotel in Egypt with the intention of finishing it on the plane Thursday evening. However, I wasn't feeling particularly well, so I finished it today instead, which is 2 days later. So maybe my intrigue just waned a little bit. I felt like it was dragging a little bit in the middle, which is ridiculous because it absolutely wasn't. This was a very fast-paced book. It's 400 odd pages. It did not feel 400 and odd pages. I think because I just felt like I've been reading it for 3 days, which I haven't. I read some of it on Thursday and the rest of it today, which is Saturday. Didn't read any of it yesterday. So, you know, I'm just being dramatic about it. It's just the way my brain works. I don't know how to explain it. If you know, you know. But I did enjoy it nonetheless. I don't feel like the reveal was shocking towards the end. Not as shocking as I was hoping it was going to be, but it was good nonetheless. And I think it was a very good book. I will definitely read more from Carter in the future. I thought that it was really good. I really enjoyed the writing style. I think the production of the audiobook was done very well as well. I would recommend the audiobook on this one because it does have a podcast element, and there is a duet narration as far as that podcast element is concerned. It's produced very, very well. So yeah, I liked it. I gave it 4 stars. So it is 5:30. I have been in this office all day. So I'm gonna go downstairs, I think, and watch a bit of telly with Andy. What I have done though is put a few horror movies in here, some of my favourites specifically. He is very much so deep into horror movies. He will watch like dark horror. He's not bothered. Super gory horror. Whereas I'm a bit more picky with my horror. I prefer like slashers or like campy horror. The likes of like Scream, Halloween, I've even put like Constantine in here, which I don't necessarily think is classed as a horror, but it's in here nonetheless. There's a whole bunch. I think I showed you an overview of them before. So I think I'm going to go down and ask him if he would like to partake in helping pick one for a movie that we watched this evening while listening to Tell Me What You Did. I did do the charm for this bookmark that I said was one of the activities for me to do. It didn't go quite as planned as I hoped. I was really hoping that this bow would be like more central down here. But I will say it was incredibly fiddly because the ends of this string kept fraying, kept having to burn them off a little bit, and then some of the very smaller, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but some of the very smaller ones wouldn't go through then because the end was burnt too large. So it just started to get incredibly fiddly and become too much for my tiny brain. So yeah, I still had fun with it though, and I have done it now, so that is exciting. So I may use this a little bit. It has given me an idea that I kind of want to do one though. I would love to do like a specific Summerween one, you know, where it says Summerween on it, and I might be able to manage it with this and be able to attach it to here because I do have a hole punch specifically for putting a circular hole in there. So I've got one of those because obviously we make bookmarks for Daisy and B. So on occasion, because I feel bougie, I like to stick a tassel on my bookmarks. So I bought one of those hole punches and a bunch of tassels, and on occasion I do it. But yeah, I think I kind of want to make a Summerween one for this. So that's a potential thing that I could do later, and well, later on in the week. And I think that these ones might be easier as well because the charms on them, the beads on them aren't as small. They're a bit bigger, the holes are a bit bigger. So I feel like I won't have as many problems with trying to get them through trying to get the thread through. But this was fun. I had a fun time with it. So yeah, that is 3 books finished for this vlog so far. I don't think I'm going to wrap up quite here because I would like to let you know what movie we might watch later. Either he will agree to this or he will just pick a movie, which I would rather he didn't. But later on in bed, what I might do, that's volume, oh yeah, we are up to volume 3. I might continue on with The Summer Hikaru Died and read another volume of this in bed later, and it'd be like the last book for this vlog. So I think that's what I'm going to do later on. So I'll have read like 4 books for the vlog and completed all of the prompts with those 4 books as well. So we can do another go of that tomorrow with the next video. The next video, I am going to do a spinner wheel. Little insight for you there. So it will be starting off with me doing a spin. I have already done the spin, so I know what I'm going to be reading tomorrow, which is exciting. So yeah, I just wanted to mix things up a little bit with the vlogs. There are obviously a handful of books that are actually on my July TBR that I should be getting to. I've put them on the spinner wheel. Anything I don't get to during days 3 and 4 during the spinner wheel portion of the vlog, I will then do for the last vlog. So there is the likes of Bird Box by Josh Malerman, there is also Horror Hotel, and there is also How to Make a Horror Movie and Survive by Craig DeLuey. I do have The Sundown Motel as well by Simone St. James, but I'm not in the mood for that at the moment, so I haven't put it on the spinner wheel. If I'm in the mood towards the end of the week, I will read it during the last vlog, but right now I'm not in the mood. I'll just read it at some point during the month. But yeah, so I'm gonna go, we're gonna pick a movie to watch later on while we're having tea, and I'm gonna read this, and that will be the rest of the vlog. I will probably come back tomorrow morning to wrap this vlog up and let you know my thoughts on this. I'm gonna go. Hello, good morning. It is the following day and I'm here to wrap this reading vlog up and start the next one. So I did in fact read The Summer Hikaru Died last night, volume 3, and I gave this one 3.5 stars, the same rating that I gave the second one. I do find that I'm a little conflicted with this series because I barely know what's going on. It is very confusing. There is a lot of things happening, and I feel like the storytelling of it is a little bit all over the place. It is a bit confusing, but I'm also so intrigued to know what is happening with Hikaru and what's going on in this town. So Yeah, 3.5 stars for this one. I am going to continue on with the series naturally, so you'll probably see more volumes of this floating around for the rest of the week. I've got 2 left. 2 left. I don't know what I've done in the night, but the the bottom of my neck, the top of my back, absolutely killing. I'm in so much pain. Yeah, I've got 2 volumes left, so you may see this floating around for the rest of the week at some point. I may try and get those done actually in days 3 and 4, so that I can move on to Dracula, because I've got 2 volumes of Dracula Midnight Children as well that I would like to continue on with as well. So yeah, 3.5 stars for this one. So that was 2 volumes of The Summer Hikaru Died, Witches, and also Tell Me What You Did for days 1 and 2 of Summerween. I think it went very well. I did do a couple of activities as well, made the bookmark, did a little bit of colouring. Making the movie pot thing. Andy was really tired last night. He's been in a bit of a funk since we got back from Egypt, so it wasn't a good time to be asking that. So we did just watch a little bit of it wasn't a documentary, but it was essentially a movie, if you like, about a retelling a true crime that happened, and it was really interesting. I think it was called Lost Girls. I'll show a picture of it here. It was really interesting. So we ended up watching that while having tea, and then pretty much went to bed. I think we're in bed for about 9 o'clock. So yeah, we might try again with that tonight, I think, because I did tell him about it and he seemed intrigued. So we might try again with that tonight. We can just pick a movie from it tonight, and then if he likes it, maybe we can try again later in the week. I don't know. He's at work till like 7 p.m. though, and then he gets home, we have some tea, and then he's usually flat out by like 8:30, 9 o'clock. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I think these last 2 days went pretty well, all things considered. So I'm going to go get this edited, get it uploaded, scheduled for you, and I'm going to get started on days 3 and 4. I will see you in a little bit.